some potential for maybe a fill in
Absolutely.
if you're not feeling well.
Yeah. We could do a cover of a song, one of my favorite songs by a British Columbian singer-songwriter named Valdy. It's called Old Man. It'd be a perfect. Because I'm old, tired, bent, and busted, gray, wrinkled, and I can't be trusted. I'm a dirty old man.
There he is. That's perfect.
Whoa.
That's perfect. I think that's a hit.
What a year. Boy, it sucked. We could use a pick-me-up. Let's go. Friggin' rights, let's go. And I think I know just the spot where the coffee's always fresh and hot, and the donuts, ooh, don't get me started on those donuts. Laughs all.
All right, so welcome to another episode of Life in Alberta. That's right. Tracking interesting people, interesting places across this great province of ours. Previous videos, we've gone to Fort Edmonton Park. We visited K-Days. We've had a lot of food there, by the way, a lot of interesting food. We've also went to the Alberta Gardens and talked to many interesting people along the way from Alberta. Again, sending out the positive vibes, positive messages. And today, boy, do we have a special guest today. Man, when I started listening to the music from my guest today, I was captivated from it. But we'll get more into that a little bit later. I want to introduce to you first my co-host for today from the state of California. We've got Baffle 99. Baffle 99 also does some streaming. He streams usually at night. You can check him out on www.twitch.tv/Baffle99. Here's a guy that has done some editing for Weird Al Yankovic. He's also did some work with Dr. Phil. You might know Dr. Phil. Also did some editing on many different game shows, TV shows, including American Idol. So Baffle, how the heck are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm looking forward to our conversation. And, the last time we spoke, we went from having a 20-minute conversation to roughly about an hour and a half. And so I'm looking forward to another spirited conversation between us and our guests.
Well, I don't think our guest has an early bedtime. I don't know if he lives with mom and has an early bedtime. We will find that out a little bit later.
I highly doubt it.
I highly doubt it as well. Okay, let's bring our guest on. Again, from Alberta. This is a guy that has the creative juices going. Can't wait to get into this discussion. We'll also hear some samples from some of his music, and you can find out where you can check him out in more detail. Welcome to the show, OGR-Scintilla. How are you doing?
You did your research. You nailed it with the pronunciation. I'm doing great.
I've been looking forward to this conversation here for a few weeks. As soon as I started hearing some of your songs, I was like, oh man, I got to talk to that guy and find out what exactly is going through that mind of yours. So I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Well,
let's do it.
A little bit of background, OGR. Back on Canada Day on my stream, I stream a independent baseball game called Out of the Park Baseball. And, anywhere on any given day, there's, 200 to 400 people kind of watching me stream that game. And again, positive, kind of family-friendly kind of environment. And on Canada Day, I was looking around for some music to play. I like to represent Canada and promote Canada. And so I was looking up Google funny Canadian videos. And lo and behold, one of yours came up. And so I played the Tim's Run. We'll talk about that more in detail later. But I played that, a few other ones as well. And my community just like, hey, can you play that song again? Can you play that song, that Tim's Run again? So I used to have it as a redemption. I have it as a redemption point thing. If they want to hear it, they have to redeem channel points. And nice. It's number one on my playlist, and the fans just love it. But when I announced that I was going to be interviewing you, let me show you the little clip of, what was going on in the chat. So as I announced that I'm going to interview you, you'll see some comments come up on the right-hand side. I hope this works. So coming on the show next week, Canada's Weird Al, Canada's best parody rapper. We've got OGR-Scintilla coming on. Going to have a conversation with him, known for Tim's Run and all these Canadian parodies. He's coming on the channel for an interview. I'm going to be hosting with Baffle99. I asked Baffle99 to come on and be my co-host because he can give an interesting perspective with the work that he does. And plus, Baffle's a big fan as well. So we can both praise him with our fandom and thank him for the laughs that we've had on stream. So, all right, Friggin' Rights, let's go next Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. So there you go. How do you feel seeing you have a little fan base of baseball fans?
I feel super excited. The fact that they're like stating exact song titles and stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, they're in it. The Party in Canada, and yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. I haven't even played that one on my channel, and obviously they're going and finding you. So, I promote you and let you know let everyone know where they can find you, and they are finding you. So, if your views go up by a couple hundred, well, hey, it's probably coming from me. Maybe not.
It's coming from a bunch. It's coming from a bunch of nerdy baseball fans. That's where it's coming from, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello out there. We're on the air. It's hockey night. No, it's not hockey night tonight, but you do have a hockey connection, and we'll get to that a little bit later as well. But my chat, I asked them to DM me if they had any burning questions for you since we're not doing this live. So OGR, here's question number 1. So you can think long and hard about this. What is your favorite Canadian?
Oh, sorry. What is my favorite Canadian chocolate bar? Geez, there's some bars that I'm not 100% certain if they're Canadian or not, but I'm pretty sure Aero Bar. Yeah, boom. Aero Bar is. I love Coffee Crisp. Oof. I'm gonna go Coffee Crisp.
Oh, winner. Oh man, we didn't plan this beforehand, did we? This is natural broadcasting. My least favorite one. I hate these ones. I can't stand them.
Honestly, I think I like one of those once at Halloween when I was a kid, and I was just like, "Who did this?" Like, like I would have rather gotten a razor blade in my apple. Well, who put this in my? What a horrible thing to do to a kid.
Hey, real quick. There's one on there called Smarties. Are those the little Are those the little sugar hard sugar candies? Is that what? Because I've had Smarties. I've had those.
Yeah, they're like the M&M that got estranged from the family, kind of. Okay. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's different than what I've had then, because they're not the ones we've had are nothing like an M&M. There's not, but they're called Smarties. That's
little hard candy layer around a chocolate center.
If you take an M&M and take out 50% of the chocolate and flatten it, you've got a Smartie.
Yeah, you got a Smart. Okay, so it's different than what we have, but still.
And Wonder Bar. My chat loves Wonder Bars apparently too. So they get peanut butter and the caramel. They're pretty good as well. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, you passed that one with flying colors. Good. Let's go on to burning question number 2.
I didn't know this was a quiz.
I was a teacher. I told you I was a teacher. I got to give pop quizzes.
If I get 3 out of 5, am I allowed to continue the interview?
Yes, you pass with 3 out of 5. Yes, that's a passing grade.
Yes,
good.
Yeah.
Favorite place to vacation? You know what? I've been to a lot of really great places that, just around the world, outside of Canada, inside of Canada. But typically my favorite vacation place is there's a little lake called Buffalo Lake. That's like nothing special. It's a dirty little Alberta lake, but it's a couple hours from my place, and my family goes there and I go there. And it's just like a great community there, nice people, sun, a few boats floating on a tube. It's a great time. So Buffalo Lake, Alberta. That's
Buffalo Lake, Alberta.
That's like my go-to. That's like my little happy spot. Even though, if I was to say like if it was cost and everything aside, I'd probably say like Italy or I don't know, somewhere cool like that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Next up, question number 3. Let me get it on the screen here. Since you're a comedy guy, I got to ask you this one.
Favorite comedy movie? Oh man. There is this movie that not many people know about called Black Dynamite. Have either of you ever heard of it?
No.
No. Heard of Napoleon Dynamite?
It's this absurd movie about a kung fu disco cop from the ghetto who wants to save the streets and stop the drug problem in his community, and he ends up I don't want to give spoilers because it's honestly such a good movie, but it's just the plot gets more and more absurd as you go. It's one of those movies that you can't take too seriously. And the first time I watched that movie, I was in tears laughing for like an hour and a half straight. Just such an incredible movie, and highly recommend it. Also, just Spaceballs. If you haven't seen Spaceballs, watch Spaceballs because there's so many good moments in that movie that I don't know.
Yeah, cool. Oh yeah, Spaceballs is a big fan favorite. Rick Moranis and Candy and all the Canadian SCTV guys.
So I like a lot of absurd stuff like that, like just stuff that's like so wacky and out there that you're just like, what is going on? But it just makes you laugh.
And you did say Buffalo Lake, right? Was that right?
Yeah.
You mean this place right here, where you hang out?
That little pothole. It's basically
right
a slough. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Bird Island?
I have.
Really?
I have been to Bird Island. That's
no way.
Bird Island. Are we allowed to swear?
Go ahead.
Bird Crap Island is what the locals call it. It's this little. It's like a tiny little. I don't know, just like a 1,000 square foot little sandbar, and all the birds flock to it because it's safe. So they all lay their eggs on it, and it's just caked in bird crap. So that's Bird Crap Island. Yeah, and you can, if you're on your jet ski, you can go around and look at the birds, and that's it.
I can see why it would be a favorite destination of yours. Yeah,
it's very secluded. Wait, what? The bird crap?
Oh, you caught that, did you?
Yeah. No, it's just
all right.
the people.
Cool.
Just the people. Yeah.
Number 4. After a big meal, what do you like to snack on?
Sahara. Oh wait, that's one S.
There's 2 S's. I'm docking half a mark off of that one.
That was me in school. I was always the one who I got good grades, and that, because I got good enough grades, I was allowed to be a smart ass, and I didn't.
Oh, you were one of those, were ya?
Yeah. I love tiramisu. I love like an apple crisp. What's like my favorite dessert though? You know what? I'm gonna go. My mom makes a homemade Oreo cookie. Christmas is coming up, and she makes just a banging homemade Oreo cookie, and I always look forward to that every year. That's a very nostalgic, very important cookie to me. So the homemade Oreo, 2 chocolate cookies with icing in the middle. It's just like you get to eat 2 cookies and say you only ate 1. Basically, it's incredible.
Have you ever had sex in a pan? Have you ever tried that?
Is that where they just put like chocolate and whipped cream and all sorts of stuff like that? Yeah, they always bring that to like small town potlucks. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. This you got to explain this to this American down here. What did you call that?
A potluck?
No. What did you call the dish? Not the. I know what a potluck is. What is this dish you're speaking of?
Yeah,
it's called sex in a pan.
Sex in a, okay. I just want to make sure I heard that correctly. I was like,
Yeah.
what in the world are we talking about here? Okay.
No, I
Okay,
knew he was
Canada,
trying to throw me
man,
with that
come
one, and I kept
on.
my composure.
And it's just,
What?
it's chocolate and a bunch of stuff that they just mix in a pan.
It's like a layer of chocolate pudding, a layer of vanilla pudding, a layer of maybe lemon. You got graham, like crumbled graham crackers on the bottom, like a graham cracker bottom. Oh, it's delicious. I mean, you got to Google it. Google sex in a pan. I dare you.
Well, I'll have to go incognito to do that because I don't want to get any, you know, I don't want to get any strays coming out of that. But I'll take a look at it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Just don't
If you
look
wanna
up
keep your
images.
skills
That's the
up,
only thing,
right.
Baffle. Stay
Well,
away from that.
that's half the fun. Come on.
Really like Canada.
All right.
If you wanna keep-
What do you like about Canada? It's Canada.
Heck yeah.
A big block device. It has moves.
Some friggin' moves, bud.
Can't imagine a more beautiful thing.
It's friggin' nice.
It's Canada.
Heck yeah.
Let's travel all around it.
Let's
Go
go.
look at this place.
Would you look at it? It's pretty friggin' great. From Vancouver to Ontario, we're coming out your stereo. Let me hit you with a real cool scenario. You're up north just shooting the breeze with some Timmies in your cup looking just like me. That's right, we live one heck of a life. In the great white north we do whatever we like. We might hike up a mountain, head out for a rip. It's always an adventure with the way that we live. Even though sometimes we just kick back and relax. Life doesn't always gotta move so fast. Crack a couple cold ones, we're putting them back with the mother friggin' broskies, bud. Heck yeah. It's just the way that we're living. Every day feels like Thanksgiving. So grateful. Which is in October, by the way. Real Thanksgiving is in October.
It's Canada.
Heck yeah.
A big block device. It has moves.
Some friggin' mooses, bud.
Can't imagine a more beautiful thing.
It's friggin' beautiful.
It's Canada.
Heck yeah.
You know, for those that may not have come across you yet, those that may be seeing you for the first time and hearing a little bit about you, give us kind of, you know, graduating from high school, you said, you know, you always got good marks. Kind of give us the 30,000 foot view, you know, tell us kind of the path you've had to take from the graduation all the way up to where you're up now. Kind of give us the brief version of that.
The 30,000, that's a cool way to think about it, because like when you look at my path, I mean, I graduate, I go to college to play volleyball, and then eventually university. I'm 6'6". That's something that some people don't know. So I'm really tall, and I went for kinesiology. I did a science degree in kinesiology and played volleyball. And then while I was at university, I was just like making beats, writing songs, producing for all the little SoundCloud rappers that I had, like a bedroom studio. People would come record. But so it looks like my path went all over the place, but in reality, I just started writing songs when I was like 12 years old. I learned guitar, took some guitar lessons, and just loved writing songs. And nothing's really ever changed. I go to my room or my house, you know. When I was a kid, it was my room. When it was university, it was my room. Now it's like I'm in my house, and I sit down and I write songs because I love to do it. And in a funny sense, I feel like absolutely nothing's changed since I first started. Like, I just love to do it. And I think that I'm successful because I really love what I do. And I just put a lot of time into it. And I get better and better every time I do it. And at a certain point, I got over my fear of posting. And TikTok helped me with that. I started a fresh TikTok account didn't tell any of my friends. Didn't tell any of my family, didn't tell a soul, just started posting. And then didn't tell until I had like 40,000 followers. I never told anyone. I was like, hey, but some of my videos are going viral on this TikTok, because it was new at the time. And then it was kind of like I was over my fear because, you know, people like it. So it can't be that embarrassing. And yeah, that's kind of the gist of it, is I just like it and I just do it all the time.
Excellent. Cool. All right. Next.
Well, just to follow up on that. So a lot, like we kind of, like you said, we kind of did a deep dive, or I did a deep dive kind of into your music. Cause I mean, the Tim's Run and the parody kind of stuff and the Canadian nationalism songs, those are awesome. But I was like, oh, let me just do let's go in a little deeper. And there's definitely been a shift in your music. It feels like, where early on you were a little more serious with taking on topics that were, you know, a little deeper, and you kind of made a switch to this. At what point did you make that shift? And was it a conscious thing, or did it just kind of flow into that? How did that happen?
So I definitely was always writing these more serious songs, sort of just because I wanted to. I wasn't really trying to think about anyone else hearing them. And when I graduated university, it was 2018, and I decided if I don't go for music right now, I could come back to it later in life, but it'll be harder. So I want to go for it. So I moved home to the farm, and I put out that the first project you'll see under OGR-Scintilla on Apple Music, and that is Talking with Kick Drums. I put out that project. Those were songs I'd been working on through university. No Canadian stuff on there. And then from there, I really just wanted to figure out how I could make a career of it, because it was like, I don't want this to be my part-time thing, and I don't know how I can do this, but I want to make music for a living. That's what I want to do. And I sort of started exploring avenues for that. I did some covers, and I did more original stuff. And then I started out on TikTok. Old Town Road had just been this giant explosion. It was 2019. And
I'm gonna take my horse on that old town road. I'm gonna ride until I can't no more. Gonna take my horse on that old town road. I'm gonna ride until I can't no more.
I got the horses in the backpack attached black. The boots, but skip the hat to free the nap. Dirt roads is where I grown. This is where I call home. Shout to Nasdaq, you know where it's at. We keep it real, but keep this country on the map. Dirt roads, I'm the young John Denver. I gon' make you remember the name and from whence it came. I pull up in Massey, I'm changing the game. These rappers been rapping about taking their aim, but only pack heat in a video game. You should be ashamed. Yeah, you rapping to boost your aesthetic. It's really pathetic. I come from the country, that's something I mentioned. Cause unlike these Instagram rappers, I ain't for pretending like, can't nobody tell me nothing. Say you bought a Porsche, you stunning. Pull up on a horse, I rushed it. You been on the porch, you a munchkin. Needs a new paddock, I rap like a newsie. I'm keeping it hot, you can call me Jacuzzi. The only one out who's still rapping, producing, and mixing. Cause I got a vision.
I'm gonna take my horse on that old town.
Or whatever. They were saying it blew up on TikTok, through Twitter and TikTok. And I was like, okay, what's TikTok? I got an account, and I just sort of went full commit, posting 2 to 3 videos a day on there. And all sorts of different things, like some trends, some comedy, some music, and just trying to sort of throw things at the wall and see what stuck. And then the very first time I had this idea of, oh, we've got this big dump of snow. Let me go outside. I'll write a little song about just like being in Canada. And it went really big. And so I thought, okay, this is something where I can take this thing I love to do and combine it with something that is valuable to people. I can offer something, because to me, like, rewriting the words to a song and making it funny, it's like, after writing these serious songs, this feels like easy, like this is no pressure. And I just started pumping out those Canadian remixes, and that's how I first started to gain a following. And so it really was a consequence of, like, I've written my songs. I've written the songs I needed for, like, my mental health and getting out my thoughts and discovering who I am. And I still write those songs. But now it's like, okay, I've developed a skill and a bit of a gift. How can I convert this into something that's valuable and can potentially become a career? That is how I stumbled upon the Canadian remix idea, in full disclosure.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. One thing that growing up, I love music. I listen to top 40 and all that with my tape recorder and taping the songs on the radio, and I always enjoyed music that was a little bit different. Not your kind of mainstream music. So music that had a little bit of comedy, or maybe a song that had the extended version or something like that. Just something different from than what you always hear. And one thing that really kind of caught my eye towards your music and talent is you seem to always be having a lot of fun when you make these videos. And, when I'm doing my streaming and Baffle does his streaming, that's one thing we try to emphasize is have fun, give the passion and spread that through your community. Tell us a little bit about what it's like, making these videos. I mean, I'm sure there's some stressful times and some down times, but that fun looks real genuine from you.
You know what? There's different types of fun, and there's like a smiling, laughing, giggling fun, and then I always compare it to, like, I was an athlete, and when I'm on the court playing sports and maybe an intense match, my face looks like boom, just focused. And to me, when I'm making these videos, a lot of times I am having a lot of fun, but it's sort of, I get to bounce back and forth between, okay, the camera's finally all set up and rolling, and now I get to be goofy. And then there's this other fun of just like, because I was always the kid who wanted to like film and edit the class project, and I want to get the shot right and the angle right, and I'm just like, okay, I need to do this, and I have my checklist and I have my storyboard, and I'm just like, bang, bang, bang. And it's almost like, maybe it's because I probably have like I'm not diagnosed or anything, but I think I probably have ADHD. And my brain wants to go fast. My brain wants to have a challenge and work hard and do something interesting that stimulates it. And so when I'm doing these videos, sometimes I do get fairly intense. It's not just like light and silly all the time, but I'm having fun just being like da 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 da, and can get frustrating sometimes if I want it to go a certain way and it doesn't. But when it comes to the music, I mean, yeah, I don't know exactly why I enjoy laughter and fun and positivity so much. My parents tell me that I was born that way. My parents tell me that when I was just like, when I could barely walk, I was just like chill and happy and enjoyed fun and just enjoyed things being peaceful and happy and positive and all this stuff. So I don't know exactly if that's something that's just in my soul or not, but I think that's just me. I think it's just me. So when I'm doing something silly, like almost everything that's funny in one of my videos, it's a spontaneous, like, oh, what if I did this? That'd be funny. It's just sort of given to me. And
Yeah.
I think that's like when you're in your element, when you're being yourself. Everyone's always trying to be themselves, but when you try to be yourself, there's something in the way. To be yourself, you just, like a dog doesn't try to be itself. It just runs around and licks its butt and runs after sticks. Like it's not trying. It's just doing itself. And so that's what I think I like about music. It like gets me out of my own way, and I just.
Do you feel like you're acting, or do you feel like it's just spontaneous? Like when you're filming these videos, is there a script? Do you have a storyboard, or like a basic one, or is it more like like you're in a movie and you're acting? How do you think about that?
I definitely think of it as acting. I'm channeling myself. I'm not necessarily like, I'm kind of playing a character when I've got my jersey on and my fur hat and putting on a little more of an accent so that I can just like and but that's a really fun character to pretend to be. And so yeah, I've learned a lot about being on screen. Like I think that it's sort of become natural to me to some extent to when I'm on screen, sort of, I don't know. Normally I script things out a little bit in advance, but then when I'm filming, I just sort of improvise off the script.
I hopped off the plane at Halifax with a dream in my hockey bag. Welcome to the land of lumberjacks, cobra chickens, and a red, white flag.
Big maple leaf flag.
Jumped on a moose and I'm here for a good time. Look to my right and I see the northern lights. Cobra chickens are deadly, but everybody seems so friendly. I got my titties but I'm feeling kinda nervous. Weather's got my car frozen, but I tried once more and it turned over. And the J Beeb song was on.
J Beeb song
And the J Beeb song was on.
Big Beebsy.
And the J Beeb song was on. So I put my boots on, the snow on the lawn, and the snow geese fly away. Are you out for a rip? Heck yeah. Hit the outdoor rink? Heck yeah. Got my favorite fleece and skates on my feet. Can't wait for another snow day.
Can't wait, eh?
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, boys.
It's a party in Canada, eh? Friggin' right. Said, hey, let's go. It's a party in Canada, eh? Woo! Get to the rink, taping up.
Are you a one-man show? Like, I'm a one-man show. I do everything from the filming to the editing to the production. How about you? Do you have help? Do you have a team, or is it all you?
For the most part, it's just me. My partner will help me the odd time with like bounce ideas off of her and tell her about what I'm doing, and she'll tell me, oh, that's good, or maybe not that. But like for the longest time, it's just been like just me. And there's a little bit of a journey here, because I'm getting to the point where I almost maybe should be hiring someone, but it's hard for me to let go of the control. Like sometimes people go like, oh, you made the beat and you wrote the lyrics and you sang it and you mixed it and you mastered it and then you filmed it and you edited it and you posted it and this and that. Wow, that's like, must be so great to have those talents, all those talents. And sometimes I'm like, I think I developed them out of this unwillingness to let my hands off of the project. And I'm getting to this point now where I think I'm maturing enough to realize that it's okay to collaborate and it's okay to like let other people do it, and it might end up different than it was in here. The thing is, like, that's a big reason that I started making music, is when I started writing, full finished songs would just be in my head. I would wake up or I would dream them, and I would just be like, they would just be stuck there on a loop, and I'm just like, I need to get this out of my head. I need to be able to listen to it, or else it's just going to be going in my head like a loop. And so same thing with certain ideas I get. It's just like I need to get it out, and I have a very precise vision for it. But now I'm getting to the point where it's like, you know what, the vision, we can wander with it. So anyways, to answer your question, yes. But I don't like to be like all praised for it, because it's like, honestly, I think I've become a jack of all trades for a combination of reasons. One, for efficiency. I just don't think in today's day and age, like I put out this song about Canada Post. It's like, I don't have time to record it and then send it to an engineer and get it back for edits and then film and then send that to an editor. Like, I need to write and record and put out the song by tomorrow. And I need to film the video tomorrow morning and have the video up by noon. So like, I just need to get it done.
You better not shop, you better not buy. Don't check out, it won't arrive. Canada Post ain't coming to town. And I just ordered new snowshoes. The workers are pissed, they're all on strike. The unions and the government just wanna fight. Canada Post ain't coming to town. There's gotta be some way we can blame this on Trudeau. Saint Nick won't see that wish list. The bills will go unpaid. They would anyways. Who cares if you've been bad or good? Your gifts will all be late. Hey, buddy. You can be cheap, no one will know. You can just blame it on Canada Post. Canada Post ain't coming to town. Yeah, your present got lost in the mail. No stupid cards, no party invites. Oh. You can stay home and watch hockey all night. Canada Post ain't coming.
I normally do that. I will film myself lip syncing the entire song. This is one of the ways that I've increased just like my efficiency. I'll lip sync the entire song, and then I'll put all the words on it, and then I'll clip it up into sections, and then and sometimes I'll say I'm on the snowmobile that day. I'll do 3 or 4 songs. Each of those songs, I'll clip it up into 3 or 4 clips. And then boom, I've got a couple weeks worth of videos there. And that just gives me more time to be in the studio or like asleep.
Yeah. I hear you about the micromanage. Oh, go ahead, Bethel.
No, I was going to say necessity is the mother of invention. And that's exact. I mean, and to your point, you know, when we do the streaming, like people will ask me like, where did you get this? Or who made this graphic for you? Or and it's like, nobody, I do it all myself. And you're kind of the same way. It's like, to your point, you don't have time. And early on, you probably didn't have the budget to send it out and do it. So it's necessity of like, hey, I got to get this done. And there's only one person that can do it the way I want it done effectively and on the budget I have. And that's me. And so I can appreciate that. I can really appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like to micromanage, and I kind of only trust myself. And if something goes right, it's great. If something goes wrong, then I can only blame myself. I don't have to blame anyone else for issues that went wrong. So yeah, no, great to hear.
I like speaking to people who are considering this path in life, the content or the music or whatever. And I would say that, yeah, like in terms of keeping your budget super, super low, like keeping your expenses super, super low, to me is so key, because it will maintain your mental health. It will help you develop skills so that even once you are hiring them out, you have developed your taste, and you know what's possible, and you have realistic expectations about certain things. And then what was the other thing I was going to say? There's just so many benefits to like doing it yourself, keeping your budget really low, getting creative with what you have. Oh yeah, the thing I was going to say is that it takes the pressure off on the timeline. Like if you're spending 10 or 15 grand a year on editing and all these things, you either need to be doing this part-time while you have a job, or you need to blow up within the first year or two, or else you're just kind of sunk. Whereas like with my thing, I've just slowly risen over like 4 or 5 years, and I never felt like I was going to be out on the street because I was doing it all myself, like just putting in time. And yeah, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Baffle, I mean, that's your job, is editing, and OGR has been talking about editing. Any question you have, from an editing perspective, because you know that inside and out. Anything you're curious about in his editing work?
Well, I mean, it's impressive because, and to be honest, that's when push comes to shove, that's how most of the people in editing, people that edit even professionally, that's how they've learned. They've learned it's much easier to learn how to edit, to learn how to use a system or a program if you have material that you're into and that you're invested in, rather than get these tutorials or these templates and it walk you through it. It's like, here's the footage I have, here's my idea that I have in my head. I know that this machine or this program can do the things I want it to do. Now I just have to sit down and bang on the machine until it does what I want it to do. And you can clearly see that in your videos. I mean, the fact that you're able to, because like you said, you might be on a snowmobile and you're recording the whole song, and then you might be in front of the Canadian flag and you record, and in your head you have all these visions of how they're going to all intercut into each other. And so that's impressive, and I mean, look, from a professional editor, I mean, your skills are good. The stuff you put out is really, really good and really cut tight. And I'm like I said, I can't listen to Tim's Run and not smile. It's physically impossible to do that. Like I've tried. Like they have the they have the try not to laugh videos where you're supposed to watch the video and not laugh, and if you laugh, I try not to laugh or try not to smile during Tim's Run. I can't do it. It's impossible. So I commend you. Like I said, editing is one of those things. I mean, and look, over the last 10 years, it's gotten much easier. The programs, the software that are out there and readily available to everyone, to the masses, has made it more of an open door, so people can get in there and use their creativity. But like I said, everything that I've seen that you've put out, including the stuff early on, it's it's shot and produced well. So kudos to you. Kudos to you.
Thank
OGR,
you. I wanted to mention.
Go ahead.
You talked about me having this vision of which clips would go where, and I just wanted to admit fully that, like I said, I do the full song, and most of the time I watch it through, and I let the special moments where my on-screen presence or performance is just like funny or captivating to me. I always prioritize those clips, and then I just sort of snip those out, and then whatever areas are left over, that's where I sort of fill in with whatever. So most of the time it's really just about, okay, here's the moments where something just, like in Tim's Run, there's this moment where I come in on the camera and I did like that Coriolis effect or whatever, that vertigo sort of, I'm coming into the camera and I zoom in at the same time. I was just like, whoa, that looks great. That's got to be in it, and did it. And so Sometimes you don't need a vision. That was all I.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's whenever you shoot music videos, that's 90% of the time. You can have a sense of, we're going to, but most music videos, especially performance ones such as that, like kind of like what you do, it's okay, we're going to shoot here, we're going to shoot here, we're going to shoot here. And we're going to just tie those three things together and make it into there's no, we're going to show this part. And then it's not like that. It's like you said, you shoot it on this stage, you take the greatest moments from that. Then you shoot it over here in front of this and you take the best moments. And then to your point, you kind of put it together, and wherever there's holes, maybe you do a third shoot and say, let's go do another shoot. And we'll kind of focus on those areas to try to really, really bang those holes and fill them up. So that's, it's like I said, the stuff you put out has been really, really fun and entertaining to watch. It's enjoyable.
As a one-man show, again, when I was a teacher, there's certain parts of the job I really enjoyed. There's certain parts of the job I really didn't enjoy, and marking was one of them. Is there a favorite component of things that you do? Is it the filming, the editing? I mean, obviously the music, singing is a big part, but is there something that stands out as, man, I really enjoy this aspect of the video?
I would say, music creation, when you get the idea and it's flowing, that's good. When I have a mix come together, like, because I mix everything, and to me that's like one of the things that I spend the most time on. It's like when I get a song finally sounding to where I think it's up to snuff with other tracks that I'm referencing, that's still one of the most rewarding moments that I have. In terms of filming, filming days are fun. Like when you just like watch something back and you laugh, that's really fun. I was gonna say my least favorite part is definitely screen time and the strain on my wrists just being on devices, and that's why I've gone to certain strategies to minimize like my editing time and make it so that I'm simplifying things in the filming process so that editing just goes a lot faster. But yeah, is there another thing that's specifically my favorite? Mainly just like the writing, the recording, like the filming, the music aspects. That's my thing.
Okay, well, that's a good transition because you were talking about Tim's Run a little bit and some of the filming there. We're going to get into a deep dive here of that specific video, and we'll talk about some of OGR's other music as well. But first, because many of you watching this right now may not be familiar with this video, and I say,
how is that? That can't be possible. There's no way.
So here it is. And I dare you, Baffle dares you not to smile, not to laugh as you're watching the video, especially if you're from Canada. So here it is from OGR-Scintilla, Tim's Run.
I could really use a double-double. What do you say, boys? Tim's Run? Let's go. What a year. Boy, it sucked. We could use a pick-me-up. Let's go. Friggin' rice, let's go. Ooh, heck yeah, bud. And I think I know just the spot where the coffee's always fresh and hot. And the donuts? Oh, don't get me started on those donuts. Life's alright in a red and a white up north, if you know what I mean. If I need a brew or just something to do, well, bud, you know where I'll be. Let's go. I'm headed on a Tim's Run. Let me know what you want. I can pick it all up. Oh, heck yeah, bud. Grab me an ice cap. Double doubles and some donuts. Tell me if you want some. I'm headed on a Tim's Run. Hey, you better grab me a honey cruller too. I'm headed on a Tim's Run. Let me know what you want. I can pick it all up. Ooh, heck yeah, bud. Double doubles and some donuts. Tell me if you want some. I'm headed on a Tim's Run. Alright, let me tell you what I'll have. Double chocolate, honey dip, 25 pack of Timbits and a breakfast biscuit. Actually, make it 2 biscuits. Ice cap with chocolate melt, a Boston cream and a bagel belt. And I can't forget 4 double doubles for the folks back home. Life's alright in a red and a white up north, if you know what I mean. greatest country in the world, boys. If I need a brew or just something to do, well, bud, you know where I'll be. Let's go. I'm headed on a Tim's run. Let me know what you want. I can pick it all up. How about an everything bagel, actually? Double doubles and some donuts. Tell me if you want some. I'm headed on a Tim's run. And, you know, just a couple more things. Hey, I'll have a honey cruller, apple fritter, vanilla dip, with extra sprinkles, a couple of those sour cream glazed, and don't forget, old-fashioned plain, peach drink with a farmer's wrap, and hockey cards, a couple packs, and whatever the guy behind me will have. It's on me. And whatever you guys will have, just drop a comment with your order and I'll make sure to pick it up for you. Don't worry, it's on me.
Oh, I thought you were going to sing it out loud. Oh man. Okay, so let's get into a deep dive. I think what a lot of people are attracted to your music because it does have that familiar, you know, they're based off of, you know, real mainstream kind of media songs, and I think a lot of people, you know, whether it's who was it, Carly Rae, just like Miley Cyrus, I think the one was off of, or was it Carly Rae?
Yeah.
Which,
I've done one of each. Call Me Maybe.
Yeah.
Party in Canada, Party in the USA. Yeah.
As a young kind of independent producer, I don't know the technicalities of this, but do you have to get approval for that? Is it okay to do that? Like, what's the legal component of taking a song and modifying it? Are you way far off of the lyrics, or how does that work?
Legally, parody is a protected style of art. So one thing that is protected is the original instrumental, the way that they put it together, those recordings. So I can't just rip the exact instrumental. I remake the instrumentals myself. And then parody also like gives you liberties to repurpose melodies and even some lyrics. So all good.
Okay, yeah. Cool. And speaking of the lyrics, OGR, what a year. Boy, it sucked. We could use a pick-me-up. Let's go. Let's friggin' rights. Let's go. Oh, so, man.
Okay, now this is again the south of the border guy here. I got my hand up. Is it okay? Why is it friggin' rights? I always thought it was friggin' right. Let's go, but I've been told now, and it's there in black and white. It's friggin' rights. Let's go. So why the extra S? Why do we throw that extra S in there? Is that just a Canadian thing? Explain that to me.
When you say friggin' right, would you say it as an exclamation of like a positive exclamation? Friggin' right.
Absolutely. Yeah, friggin' right. Let's go. Yeah, I never knew there was an S until I was told here recently.
You know, friggin' right is also fine, but for some reason, friggin' rights, it was like, that's just what we said. And I don't know exactly when that S got added on in the, what do you call it, etymology or whatever, of as in the transformation of the language. But yeah, I remember in friggin' rights. I don't know.
Sounds
I have adhered to it. I've now added the S to my nomenclature. From now on, it will be friggin' rights. I will never say it the other way ever again. So you have converted this south of the border gentleman. So
friggin' right.
Kudos to you.
How do you say moose in plural in America? We say meese. What do you guys say down there?
I don't ever really speak about a moose because I've never even, there's no reason to around here. There's no moose. There's no mooses or mises on the beaches here. So I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, no mooses.
Well, there's some mooses, but that's we're talking about a whole nother thing. So
yes. So tell us a little bit about this video, because you know those 4 words on screen there at the end, friggin' rights, let's go. I can't tell you how many times my chat types that in as I'm doing my stream now. They've adopted you as a token American, I think, because tell us a little bit about the inspiration, the process, because this was what, about 3 years ago you made this video?
I want to say end of 2021.
Yeah.
December, maybe. I'm trying to remember. It was a Monday. So I had made a whole bunch of Canadian remixes. What I first did when I was on TikTok is I was like making songs more Canadian, part 1, 2, 3. And this was up to like part 80 some. I'd pumped out a whole bunch of these remixes, and I posted like probably like 20 or 30 new original snippet ideas between September and November, and none of them really went for me. At this point, I wasn't really releasing stuff on Apple Music as much. I still had it in my head I wanted to just use this to get people to listen to my original music. But then I was like, you know what? I realized that so many of these songs popped off, and they would have got a ton of streams if I did that. So I was like posting all these things, nothing, and then I had this remix of Shotgun by George Ezra, and I didn't sing it very well. Like, I could tell my voice was not on tune, and so it drove me crazy. And I was like, I don't even know if I want to post this one. I just think I want to take Christmas off. You know, like, it's December. I'm just gonna post this last one, and then I'm not posting anything until the next year. I'm gonna take a few weeks off. And it just, boom, 500,000 views. And I was just like, oh, whoa. So I just went straight to the studio, finished writing the rest of the song. I actually did it on a live stream. And the second verse, where I list different Timmy's orders, I was asking people, what's your favorite thing from Tim Hortons? And people were giving me answers in the chat. And then I was piecing them in a way where they would rhyme together. And that's how the verses came about. But yeah, got it up, finished it that night. The next morning, uploaded it, went outside. I went and filmed on the ice, and then I filmed in my Quonset where I've got the big Canadian flag, and then filmed in front of a green screen where it looks like I'm in front of a Tim Hortons. That's just green screen. And so basically just clip between those 3 clips and got her done. But in terms of those specific lyrics, friggin' rights, let's go. Like I said, it was at the end of 2021. It was mid COVID. Things were crappy for a lot of people. And I thought to myself, I'm writing this song about Tim Hortons. What would, like, maybe life's not good, but you just want a coffee, you know? And it was just like, I think a lot of people relate to that. You're maybe not having the best day or week or year or life, whatever. And you're just like, let me go do that thing that I like. And for a lot of people, that's like just going and grabbing some food and a drink. And for a lot of people, that's at Tim Hortons. And so it's not that deep, but that's kind of the thought behind it. That's the start of the song. It's like, you know, this little treat can just light up my day, and that's pretty cool.
So another pop quiz question for you now. Okay, so this is one that I have always had in the back of my mind while I watch this. What is OGR's actual Tim's Run order? Like, what are we doing? And be specific, because again, I've never been to a Tim Hortons. So if you start throwing out terminology that I don't understand, I won't know what it is. But again, what is your actual Tim Hortons order when you go on a Tim's Run?
If I want food, I go chili. Their chili is really consistent and really good, and fairly filling. So I love the chili. Comes with a bun. And then I really like the chai latte. Love that for a drink. I'll also not a huge coffee guy. Sometimes I'll do an ice cap, but typical order, like just go to, I would get chili, a chai latte, and then for a donut, I would get probably a Boston cream. But I have been expanding my repertoire. I love a double chocolate. I love their fritters are really good. Apple or blueberry fritter are incredible. But yeah, I've been mixing it up a little bit more with the donuts lately, but a Boston cream is like my go-to.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Sour cream glazed for me, please. And 2 cream, 1 sugar kind of guy. What 3 things that really stand out that really made me appreciate this song. And I think people like me that like that kind of music really appreciate too. One, it had a beat. It had, like that shotgun kind of beat. It's familiarity. Two is the fun you were having in the video. You could tell that. And three, I think the pop culture, right? Canada, Tim Hortons, like, and what I really love about this song and a lot of your songs is you don't just have the lyrics, but you embed other little words and phrases throughout the song as well. And I think that is just brilliant to do. And it's so catchy. And I think that really enhances the song.
Yeah, in terms of the ad libs in that, I do think that a lot of what, like sometimes I'll record a song and you would hear it and you'd be like, okay, like there's words, there's this, there's that. But until I just go like, heck yeah, bud, in the background in the little pauses, it doesn't quite feel right. And because I want the vocal to be like, not serious, but I want to hit the notes and I want to sound good. And so I think that this gives me some sort of allowance that a lot of parody music doesn't get. Like some people are trying to be funny in the main vocal. And obviously I'm writing funny lyrics, but I don't have to necessarily lay it on too thick with my main vocal. I can focus on giving a decent performance, but then I can just like, oh, friggin' rights in the background, and then it just like it elevates the humor. Like it's this fun like almost duet with myself of, and it keeps the fun and the energy up for sure.
Yeah, just brilliant. I noticed that in your music, and I think keep that up because that's a big part of it.
Thanks. They're almost always improvised because I'm just like in my recent one about Canada Post, it was like, Canada Post ain't coming to town. And then one of the last ones I added in this break is like, there's got to be some way we can blame this on Trudeau. Just as like a little, just like, I'm just, because I thought, oh, that'd be funny. And then it's just like, I'm trying to think in Tim's run, just like, on Tim's, like, oh yeah, and an ice cap too, or like things like that, where I'm just
make it too, like a farmer's rap or whatever. Make it too. Apparently the word bagel, the people in America have been making fun of how Canadians say bagel. I don't know. I don't know it any other way, but that's another part that they point out. But
I'm still looking forward to the time when I hear the original song, because up until today I had no idea that wasn't an original song. I've never heard the shotgun or whatever the song. I've never heard it, so I've only heard your version. So at some point I'm going to be in a grocery store or an elevator and I'm going to hear that song and I'm going to start singing Tim's Run. Forget about the lyrics of the other song. I'm going to sing that one because that's how I know it. So
OGR is the original on that one. Yes.
For me, he is.
I think a lot of people don't realize too, because they're used to the usual song, but you have so many different cuts of that song on your YouTube channel. Go check them out. OGR/Scintilla. And one of my favorites is this Lego one. I'm just going to play a couple, maybe a minute of it. Baffle, have you seen this one yet?
No, this will be a first for me. I can't wait. I'm going to try not to smile. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. We're going to watch to make sure you don't smile. Okay. Let's put it on bigger screen there. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear it.
I'm headed on a Tim's Run. Let me know what you want. I can pick it all up.
Oh, heck yeah, bud. Grab me an ice cap.
Double doubles and some donuts. Tell me if you want some. I'm headed on a Tim's Run.
Hey, you better grab me a honey cruller, too.
I'm headed on a Tim's Run. Let me know what you want. I can pick it all up.
Ooh, heck yeah, bud.
Double doubles. Donuts, tell me if you want some. I'm headed on a Tim's Run.
All right, let me tell you what I'll have. Double chocolate, honey dip, 25-pack of Timbits and a breakfast biscuit. Actually, make it 2 biscuits. Ice cap with chocolate milk, a Boston cream and a bagel belt. And I can't forget 4 double doubles for the folks back home. Life's
Amazing, but I gotta know how much work was it doing that video and all that Lego. I thought maybe someone else did the Lego and you took screenshots of it, but then I see your guy here and I know he was involved in some of this Lego creation. tell us the story of the Lego Tim's Run.
Shout out to Aaron. He goes by Lego Vader, I think 769 on social media. He is the person who made this entire video. He gave it to me exactly how it was because he was entering this competition to make a Lego set and submit it to Lego. And if you get enough votes, they'll turn it into a real Lego set. And I don't believe he won, but he made this, and I was sending people to go vote for him. And we've stayed in touch, and he's a huge supporter. So in this case, Aaron did absolutely all of this for me, and I loved it exactly how it was. And shout out to him for this amazing video. He did another Lego video for me for another song called Coconut Lotion, which I really, really enjoy. That's a really fun music video. If anybody wants to hear some of my other music, a lot of people say that's like one of their favorite non-Canadian songs for me. So the Coconut Lotion Lego music video is pretty fun. And yeah, check out Lego Vader on social media.
I'm in my heart, you in my head. I'm in my heart, you in my head. I'm in my heart, you in my head. I'm in my heart. I can't even feel the summer sun without thinking about you. I can't even sip my Coke and rum without thinking about you. I can't even wear my coconut lotion without feeling these emotions. Every time I do, I think about you. I can't even feel the summer sun.
Fame. When was there a specific moment, or was it more gradual with you when you were kicking back, enjoying a beverage, and you said, I think I've actually made it, or I'm doing something here? Is there that moment in time, OGR, where you had that epiphany that things are going in the right direction?
You know what? It has been a little bit gradual. I don't have a specific eureka moment. I'm trying to think. There has been times where, like the first time I got recognized in public, I just sort of went, huh, what? Well, that won't happen again. And then like the second time I was like, okay, apparently this is something that happens to me now. Not very often, mind you, because unless I'm wearing my hat and my jersey, I don't really get recognized in that way. But like, yeah, I think it's been a gradual thing where I've been working sort of so ravenously with a combination of genuinely really loving what I do and also sort of a fear of failure. I'm not going to say that it's always been purely positive in my mental space. I've had rough patches and dark stretches where I feel more worried about not failing than I feel about succeeding in the way I want to. And so lots of times it's just like, need to keep working, need to keep working, need to keep working. And then you look up for a minute and you go, okay, things have gotten better. Okay, need to keep working, need to keep working, need to keep working. And I just sort of, it's been like that since 2018. I've been able to understand that I'm actually good at what I do. And I've been able to understand that people actually like what I do. And I've been able to understand that even if I were to fail, that would not take any of those things away from me. And like, if my social media accounts were all deleted today, I would feel very confident knowing that I have skills and I've developed good taste. And so like, I think I've developed certain things like that are easier to hold on to, instead of when it comes to like social media, it's like you get a big video and then boom, and everyone's gone. They just wanted that one video. And so, yeah. Working really, really hard on it for a long time. Eventually it just starts to feel easy. That's one of the cool things about being a human, I think, is just like whatever you do, you get good at it.
I think that's such an important message to convey to everyone out there that is not where you are in terms of success, but maybe at that beginning stage or intermediate stage. I've felt that. I'm sure Baffles has felt that. The fear of failure can be powerful. And I'm sure there have been many people that have quit their passion of creating content because of that fear of failure, having a down day, a down week, a down month. It happens to all of us. you always want to do your best, and you're always afraid it's not good enough. And the biggest critic is yourself most of the time. And I think that's an important message, that just keep persevering through it, keep pushing through it, keep doing what you love, because the passion will come through. And that's the biggest positive. That's the biggest help that you can get in success, is your passion coming through with your work. So yeah, very important. And you've mentioned adversity. And it's funny because that's the next topic I kind of wanted to go through in your career, the adversity. And I can imagine. Yeah, exactly. Teacher. I can imagine there's been some along the way. No intention, I promise.
Absolutely. On what you had said before, the first album that I ever put out, I didn't release it under OGR-Scintilla. I released it under my given name, Shane William Kimber. I release heaps of music under Shane William Kimber that I would encourage you to go check out. And that album's called Thomas. And it's an album that I sort of channeled by imagining who I would become if I didn't listen to that light inside of me and pursue it. And this person becomes very sad. They become very regretful. They reach the end of their life and they feel like they've been cheated out of the experience that they know they could have had, and they realize that they're the one who did it to themselves. And so sometimes it's important to understand that, and I think that's the main takeaway from that project is it doesn't just feel good to achieve your dreams and live the life you want to live. And like, don't get me wrong, that is heaven on earth, but hell on earth is the opposite. And in terms of just really grasping that and letting yourself understand that it really is that serious. Like sometimes the most profound ideas sound so mind-numbingly simple, but like you're here and you only have so much time, and like, just what do you want to do? Do you want to, like, because it is entirely up to you. And anyways, you had talked about adversity. I would say you don't happen to be an English teacher, do you?
Social studies, my friend.
Okay. I was going to say, I feel like in the narrative of my life, the conflict is self versus self, as opposed to like, no one's ever really gotten in my way, at least not in a way that they could stop me. And maybe that's just something I believe about myself, that like, but no one has ever truly had the power to stop me from achieving or becoming who I want to become. It's always just fear. And I think that in that sense, developing a very positive relationship with yourself is one of the most important things you can do in life. And generally speaking, that's the purpose of kindness and goodness, is having a very, very positive one-on-one relationship with who you are. Because then when you feel discouraged from the external world, internally you can have sort of like a pilot light, a little spark that never goes out. That's what scintilla means, by the way. That scintilla is a word that means spark. And that's the point of what I'm doing here, is hopefully to help turn people's perspective inward and remind them that they are in total control of their situation. And I believe that more people have that than not. I think especially like here in North America, for the most part, we have immense privilege and opportunity, and it's up to us to capitalize on that. It's a bit overwhelming to have as much privilege and opportunity as we have, but it's up to you to seize it. So
yeah, and that's a great thing about today's social media environment, YouTube, things like that. It allows people, especially creative people, to feed that animal, even if that's not their day job, even if it's just, but it gives them an outlet to make music or to make funny videos or to write poems and express themselves. It gives them an outlet that, 20 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, they didn't really have that outlet. And so to your point, when you have those kind of passions, 20 years ago, you didn't have an outlet for that. It was kind of stuck inside and you were stuck doing your 9 to 5 and what have you. And now you have the outlets. You can work your 9 to 5 and work your life and do your thing, but on the side, be able to express yourself and follow your passions. And so I think that's a great thing about social media. And it's definitely allowed you to do that. Like you said, you kind of started just at your university, making beats, doing things, and just kind of putting it out there until you found your groove. And then once you found your groove, it took off and went from there. And now you have the option to be able to even expand it and do more. So that's a really good point to make.
Is there a non-Canadian? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's also a very special opportunity that I got because I grew up, I'm a 95, sort of halfway between millennial and Gen Z, but I grew up in the country. So we had like dial-up internet and we were a little bit more old school. And the idea of posting something on social media never really, like, I posted on Facebook to make my friends laugh and that was fun. But like in terms of my art, I wrote and made a lot of songs just for me. And I want to encourage people to express in that way because from such a young age, I feel like people are being introduced to this idea of there's creating art and then there's receiving validation for your art. And they're both great. But I think that I want to remind people that they should have both because there's times where even I've definitely been too lost in the validation, in the likes, in the recognition, and even like the career side of it, and just forgot that I can sit and play guitar and sing, and I don't have to record it. It can just be for God, It can just be for me and God and no one else.
Your non-Canadian music, is there a song that you're most proud of? A song that you would recommend people need to listen to for either its message or just the music itself?
I have a project called The Big Black Door, and that's a 35-song album. A lot of them are partially finished or unmixed or things like that. And the idea of The Big Black Door is that I make so much music, and for a long time, I never felt like any of it was good enough to put out. And to me, this big black door was like this big gateway in my mind. And I had to walk through that and realize that it was kind of like about overcoming perfectionism. And if you want to get a whole wide variety of hip hop, R&B, pop, singer-songwriter, that project's great. The second last song on that project is called Saved. And to me, that's a song that always stands out in my mind as like, I just love that song. And some of it's written, some of it's freestyled. The instrumental is very simple, but it's just kind of like put your headphones on and listen type song. And I really like that one.
Just keeps on moving on quicker and my mind, it all feels like a figment. No money ever made me richer, and I'm still drinking on the same damn liquor in time. Just keeps on moving on quicker and my mind, it all feels like a figment. If ever you're lost, if ever you're lonely.
But everything
Excellent.
on that project, I'm proud of. Thank you. Yeah.
And again, all the links will be under the video below. You can check out all the social media for OGR. Give them a little bit of love. We got a couple more questions for you, but one of the more obvious ones is you've been compared to, I've seen in, media and interviews you've done before, you've been compared to the Canadian Weird Al. How do you take that? Do you see that as a flattering, as an honor? Were you a big Weird Al fan, or kind of give us the story behind that?
I'm trying to remember. I have this distinct memory of listening to a playlist of all Weird Al while I was just playing Halo 3 online matchmaking in high school. I loved Weird Al, and I think that Weird Al has done something for the genre of parody that, like, he's like the Michael Jordan of parody, you know? It's to be compared to someone like that, you have to take it as a compliment. It's just he's the best at what he does. The fact that people compare me to that, you know, that's incredible. There was a while where I was like, oh, I don't want to be a parody musician. I want to be a real artist, and now I'm over that. That's
yeah. Well, having worked with him, I can confirm he is very weird. I can confirm that he is very weird.
Is his name Al?
His name is Al. Yes, Al Yankovic. Yes, but he is very weird. Yes, very weird.
2 for 2.
Yeah. I remember on family trips, you know, I was a big Weird Al fan. My kids became big Weird Al fans, and my wife not so much. But you know, we would put the cassettes in on the family trips on these long drives. And I don't know if you've heard the one about "I hate sauerkraut." It's like a 13-minute song where he goes on about hating sauerkraut.
I don't specifically remember that one. I'm definitely going to look it up. That
yeah.
Concept is incredible.
It's an interesting song. It's a very catchy song. But yeah, we would play that endlessly in the car, and it would drive my wife nuts.
I can see that.
Yeah. Oh, you know that one, Baffle?
I'm vaguely familiar with it. Yes, vaguely. I'm more into the early Weird Al. That's when when we were both young men. That's when I kind of got into it. So
yes. And you know, speaking of media and things like that, again, you've been featured in certain articles. You were in the Edmonton Journal at one point. I think it was 2022, maybe, as one of the up and coming hot TikTokers of Alberta. And you know, I have to say, I'm a little disappointed in the Edmonton Journal because you were not number one on the page. Number one went to the 87-year-old grandmother that does TikTok video. Actually, 90 years old. It says 90 years old. But yeah, you've been featured in the Edmonton Journal. You were also featured in with the CTV News. They did an interview with you, a sit down, talking about your success. That was more recent. That was just back in September, I believe, that they put that out.
Like getting these emails. Hey, I'm from CTV. Do you want to talk to me? I guess. Yeah, sure.
or getting an email from Laptop. Hey, do you want to talk to me? Yeah, sure. I guess, you know.
Yeah.
I have to say, he responded fairly quickly. I was impressed. I was like, whoa, geez, that's good. It didn't go in the trash heap. Have you had any international media agencies reach out to you, or has it strictly been Canadian?
In terms of interviews and stuff, like, I think I've done a few like interviews, podcasts for people in the United States. Mainly in Canada. Mainly in Canada. You can imagine why.
Yeah. Well, okay, no one's listening right now, so that you can just between us three.
I like Instagram DM, just like, I would marry you or whatever. And I'm just like, if you would marry someone based on watching a video of them on social media, I feel that there could be some compatibility issues with us and in this potential relationship, because I feel like that's just a little too trusting, a little too gullible isn't quite the word, but what happens when a taller, more handsome, more Canadian guy comes up on your TikTok page?
Is there such a thing as? I don't think there is such a thing as that. I mean, from what I've seen tonight, that there's other reasons to not accept the proposal, but that's not going to happen. I don't know that there's anybody that's taller and more Canadian.
OGR. If you ever get anything in the email from baffle99@hotmail.com, just don't open it. Just delete it. Delete it right away, because
yes, I agree, because that's not me. You don't want that.
But I'm Canadian, so I'll say sorry. Jeez, you friggin' spooked me. Almost spilled my Timmy's, but I'm Canadian. Sorry, bud, so I'll say sorry. Even though it wasn't my fault, life is so bad. I hope
so bad, even though it wasn't my fault. I feel so bad. I hope you know that. I feel so bad.
Seriously, I'm really sorry, guys.
Later in the Timmy's line, it's taken way too much time, but you know that's alright.
It's just fine.
I got all day. I pull up and I pay, and then look down in the bag. To my shock and dismay,
Looks like they friggin' pooched it.
they screwed up my order so bad I can't ignore it. I know I should be more forward. Why am I apologizing?
Hey, I just met you. Hi there.
You bumped into me, but I'm Canadian.
But I'm Canadian.
So I'll say sorry.
Sorry. Jeez, you friggin' spooked me.
Almost spilled my Timmy's, but I'm Canadian.
Sorry, bud.
So I'll say sorry.
Hey, I just met you.
You bumped into me, but I'm Canadian.
They just want to go on a Scintilla run. That's all. They just want to go on their own little Tim's journey. That's all.
Hey,
They do. They do. Has there been, I guess, your biggest pleasant shock or surprise, or has Tim Hortons actually reached out to you? Has any artist reached out to you that you're like, wow, like they're actually is there anything claim to fame above and beyond what we know already?
You know what? And going back to this question you asked before, a moment where I felt like I really made it was when last year, Tim Hortons hired me to do a sponsored influencer post, and that was huge because that was the type of thing where okay, this is almost like the completion of my character arc or something. Going from a guy who just talks about Tim Hortons to them actually emailing me and doing that video. Any other massive moments where I was like, what? Not actually. Absolutely. The Red Green Show. I don't know if you're familiar, but the Red Green Show's gotten in touch with me, and I'm actually working on a song with them right now. And to me, that was this was one of my favorite childhood shows, and laughed at it so much. The handyman corner, Red Green, just fixing up funny old things with duct tape, and when they reached out to me, my inner child just kind of did a little backflip. It was pretty crazy. That was pretty cool. Absolutely. And being on CTV, I remember being a little kid watching CTV. So seeing me there, the whole world sort of felt opened up. It's like, oh, that TV and all that, it's not that special. You can just be on it. You can just be on the news if you want. This is crazy. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Red Green.
Question about a certain monument or certain tourist site in the United States.
Yeah, I really, whenever I get a chance to talk to people from other parts of the world, especially from Canada, there's a lot of great people that have come from Canada. I'm just curious I always want to know who your Mount Rushmore of Canadians, and it could be anybody. It doesn't have to be famous necessarily, but the Mount Rushmore of Canadians. Who would be the 4 people that you would put on that monument?
Well, you got to go Terry Fox. I mean, I think you got to go somewhere hockey, and I think an easy answer is Wayne Gretzky. I'm just trying to cover all my bases.
We love Gretzky down here in Los Angeles, by the way. We're big fans of
absolutely.
Gretzky, so I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
I'm just trying to think. I'm going to put Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's Canadian, I think. Yeah, Jim Carrey's Canadian. Brilliant human, brilliant actor. Seems like a pretty cool dude. I'm putting Jim Carrey on my Mount Rushmore of Canadians. And
you need a musician.
Yeah, I guess I probably, you know what? Let me put this is a real overly biased one, but let me put Dallas Green, often known as City in Color. He's a singer-songwriter. He also performs in a band called Alexis on Fire as one of the singers in that band. And he was probably the first artist that really, really inspired me. I just listened to every one of his songs. I learned his songs on guitar. I loved his style. I wanted to know what all his tattoos were. I wanted to read his lyrics and understand what he was trying to say. And yeah, in terms of my personal influences. I'm gonna put Dallas Green on my Canadian Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
That's trying to be as punctual as I can. I feel like I'm probably forgetting something, but I'm gonna go.
It's your personal. It's your personal. So you're not forgetting anybody. You're not forgetting anybody. Absolutely.
And Baffle, I know you haven't been up to Canada, but the Mount Rushmore is pretty close to the Canadian border. You guys down in America, you kind of just see one angle of Mount Rushmore.
Oh,
Have you ever seen
go.
what the Canadians see of Mount Rushmore? This is our viewpoint. So
It's quite a view. It's quite a view.
You guys got the much better side of the mountain. This is the backside. Literally the backside.
We got the better end of that.
Yeah,
of that
yeah,
absolutely.
Sure, so. Yeah. All right, a couple more things here. Best way people can support you, OGR-Scintilla. What is the site that you use the most, that you check the most, that you respond to on the most?
PayPal me $10,000. That's the best way.
Okay.
And you can add 100 right here, by the way. As
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Honestly, if you enjoy what I'm doing, I do appreciate like the follows on all platforms. That's nice. Streaming my music does go a long way. And if you're following me, especially on Instagram and that, if you enjoy a video, if you share it to your story, every one of my videos that goes super viral on Instagram, I've noticed it's the ones where people are sharing them a lot. I do also have sort of a private Patreon thing. If you really want to see some behind the scenes and listen to, I've got about 50 unreleased songs on there. It's called The Hoser Gang, and you can go to overgrowthrenaissance.com and check out The Hoser Gang. That's my website. If you type in OGR-Scintilla on Google, the website should come up, and that's in the links in my bio and stuff. Yeah, here. I do have merch. I'm designing some new merch right now, but I do have these. I did do the design work on myself. So one is me jumping a snowy mountain with a moose and a goose and a beaver flying after me, and I'm on a snowmobile. I did that one myself, and it says Party in Canada. And then the other one that says Friggin' Rights has Ryan Reynolds wearing a Mountie hat with poutine and maple syrup and a moose and a goose and a hockey stick.
I will be going to the website immediately after this interview and purchasing that. That's a done deal. Do you ship to America? That's the question. Do you ship to the United States?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, then I'm on it. I'm on it.
All right. Yeah. And again, I'll leave the link for that. And I'm sure there's a few Americans out there that love your brand and your music that are going to look forward to that. Now that the Canadian post strike is over, that was kind of a one and done song there, wasn't it? It was. I'm glad you got it out when you did.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate my partner and my parents. We sat around and wrote that together, and that was really fun. So shout out to them. That was a great time. I wanted to say one more thing about in terms of how to support me. If you listen to this interview and listen to some of the things I said about motivation, passion, doing what you want to do and becoming who you want to become, I care a lot about mental health, and I care a lot about suicide prevention, and I care a lot about just in general enhancing humanity's experience as a whole. And I think that every individual person listening to that spark inside of their heart or soul and following it to the best of their ability, I do think that if each person individually can do that, that as a whole, our entire world is going to see the benefits. And you can't do it for anyone else. You have to do it for yourself. You have to listen to your heart. But when you do that, the benefits for yourself and everyone around you are immense. It is like magic. In fact, it is magic. And I hope that everyone takes that seriously, because to me, beyond any of this stuff, that is what I would like to say to people, is to let who you are out. And it'll be uncomfortable at first, but you'll heal a lot and you'll do things that are good for this planet.
Yeah, beautiful message. You know,
Said.
Canadians, you know, again, back to Tim Hortons, one tradition in Canada is that pay it forward, right? Pay it forward where you buy the beverage for the person behind you, or and then that line keeps going and going and going. And I always say on my streams, you know, give what you can, take what you need. You wouldn't believe what a small little gesture, how it might make someone's day. It could be, you know, helping them walk the dog. It could be shoveling their walk. It could be just a smile that you never know what someone needs out there. So anytime you can give the smallest little gesture or help, it can really, really go to make someone's day. And I think that message that you gave, extremely positive as well.
Yeah, I think that when you shine your light and be who you are, it's kind of like that on steroids a little bit, because I know that, like, I've talked to people, I was always a little bit more closer to just being myself and being my weird self. And like I'd go to a university party with like a floral bucket hat with, I had this funny tank top that was made of like a weird towel material with a zipper on the front, and I'd wear like these weird pants that I got from a thrift store. And my one friend told me one time, I always felt comfortable dressing however I wanted when I went out to the party, because I knew that you would be dressed more weird than I would. And I knew that I could, no matter what I was wearing, no one would be judging me because they'd be looking at you. And that wasn't my goal. It's the same with like you said, a smile. Like smiling at someone. If you are in your zone and you are happy and you're giving out that light, like, you're going to impact so many people that you never even know you impacted them. And that's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's like, you can be doing what you love while simultaneously be giving all these favors and gifts and blessings to the people around you. It's a win-win. It's incredible.
Yeah, friggin' rights. Let's go.
Friggin'
Yeah.
rights, let's
Did I say? Did I do it right? Lap? Did I do it right? Did I say it right?
Friggin' rights. Let's go.
Friggin' rights. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. We know, we've seen your videos where you're not afraid to be yourself and, you know, to be that, you know, weirdo out there, and you got a new hairstyle. Apparently,
I apparently didn't do a deep enough dive. Look at this. I'm gonna have to go even deeper. Okay, good. I got something to do after this interview. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely go watch this is pre-AI. I did Patrick Starr Sings Blinding Lights. That's a really funny one. And
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the light. I do an okay Patrick Starr impression. I want to do more of those, but I just haven't made time yet.
That's awesome.
Well, two closing questions for you. The first one is a little bit about your path forward. We talked about your, you know, behind that 30,000 foot view from behind, but what about going forward now? Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be?
I have a strong vision for the things that I like to do every day. I like to take really good care of my health. I like to be creative. I like to spend a lot of time outside with family, friends, loved ones. I like to create music that inspires people and makes them happy or motivated. And I know that about myself, and I feel grateful to know who I am. In terms of going forward, I think that I'm learning more about just faith and understanding the same way that song lyrics are given to me. The path is given to me. And so I have vague concepts of the future. I have a strong concept of what I enjoy to be doing in the present. And so I always try to remain open to allowing it to be given to me, because my life was given to me. The air in my lungs is given to me. All the greatest things in my life are always given to me. I don't do anything. My plans mean nothing. And if I stay rooted in that, I think I stay rooted in something that's closer to an accurate image of reality, where every moment is a new moment, with new things being given to you, new blessings. And so in terms of the path into the future, hopefully that's a good explanation of that. I know what I love. I'm going to do what I love, and I have increasingly everyday faith that that is the path. This thing that I do now is the path, and that's fun and cool.
Here. Yeah, no, it's been great. We definitely have learned a lot more. I look forward to listening to some more. Like I said, I kind of did a deep dive, but I kind of went in the past. I didn't really go deep down into a lot of the current stuff. So I look forward to doing that. And just know that there is a horde of baseball nerds out here who enjoy your music and who have become fans thanks to Lap and to everybody. Are you a baseball fan at all? Or do you watch baseball? Are you aware of baseball?
I'm aware of baseball, and I do watch it. My dad loves baseball. So more and more, like, he'll have it on, and I've gotten used to sitting down and watching and be like, oh yeah, that one was that one was high and outside. That was a dangerous pitch. He really could have got a hold of that one. Then my dad always goes, oh yeah, if you wanna pitch high, you gotta pitch high and inside. He used to be a pitcher, so he loves telling me about baseball. He used to throw me knuckleball.
Nice.
And,
the old knuckle.
so yeah,
Wow.
I don't follow players specifically. I guess I'd call myself a Blue Jays fan because of all the options in Canada, that's my favorite. And,
Right. I was gonna say, aren't you legally obligated once you're in Canada to root for the Blue Jays? They're the only one, right? Yeah, contractually.
Yeah, it's contractual. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Does your dad like a former Blue Jay named Dave Steeb?
I'd have to ask him.
Okay, you have to ask him.
Of course he does. Everybody who doesn't love Dave Steeb? Come on.
That is another joke meme on my channel. A lot of talk about Dave Steeb, former Blue Jay pitcher. Well, the latest video you posted about 5 days ago was your countdown of your top 20 viral videos. So go check that out. Again, all the links will be down below. I guess my final thoughts is, if you're ever looking for extras for doing a video, and you're in the Edmonton, Alberta region, maybe you're looking for a body double or something like that, or maybe you're looking for an older version of yourself.
I was going to say, yeah, you could pass.
How do you think? What do you think, OGR?
Oh wait! Oh, look at this! He's got his Oh wow! Look at this!
Oh,
he's got props, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Oh wow! Wow!
What do you think? You see some potential for maybe a fill in if you're not feeling well. Yeah.
We could do a cover of a song, one of my favorite songs by a British Columbian singer-songwriter named Valdy. It's called Old Man. It'd be a perfect. Because I'm old, tired, bent, and busted, gray, wrinkled, and I can't be trusted. I'm a dirty old man.
There he is. That's perfect. That's perfect. I think that's a hit. That's got hit written all over.
Hey. I want 2 lines. Friggin' rights. Let's go.
That video will go viral.
Dirty old man. Jeez.
I really just wanted to give a shout out to Valdy because that song is absolutely beautiful. And I just also want to get a friendly dig in. But that was
and Baffle, we've got our own merch, right? We got our own merch. You ready?
Yes.
You ready? There we go. Just in case you forget who we are, OGR, we got our own streaming merch here. So there you go.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, man, this was a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. And like I said, just wanted to introduce you, a little bit more up close and personal to my community because they just love your music. And thank you for allowing me to play your songs. I'm glad I reached out to you because you never know. Some artists are very protective over their music and how much you gotta pay me kind of thing. And you've been very accommodating, and I will continue to push it. Anytime you have a new release or something that you want out there, just send me an email and I will absolutely show it. Any closing comments from you, OGR-Scintilla? Shane, what do you got to leave us with?
I feel like I said a lot of stuff. Just send it, bud. Just send it, bud.
Okay. Can you give us a friggin' rights? Let's go, laptop pound and baffle.
Friggin' rights. Let's go, laptop hound and baffle.
That just made my day. That just made my day.
All right. We're going to close off with another song I love from OGR-Scintilla, Canadian song, a barn song, a very cool kind of song, and keep pumping out the hits. Well, I think that's it. Have a wonderful holiday to both of you guys, and just keep up the good work. Stay positive. Like I said, give what you can, take what you need, and keep smiling. As OGR-Scintilla said, keep shining that light, because there are a lot of people out there in today's world that are, feeling it physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. There are a lot of people having tough times in the world today, not just in Canada. So anything you can do to shine your light, shine it as bright as you can. Laptop Pound signing off. This has been Life in Alberta, up close and personal with OGR-Scintilla. Have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, and continue your journey into this path we call life. We'll see you next episode.
I kind of feel Canadian right now.
Let's go. Old Betsy needs some moose feed. She's been wailing all night long. I got bears in the front yard, beavers in the backyard, and geese crapping on my lawn. I gotta polish my dog sled and shovel my driveway. The list goes on and on, but I forget about all my problems when the hockey game is on. But here comes the 2 to the 3 feet of snow, playing hockey anywhere there's a rink or a road. It's a party up here in the great white north. Friggin' rights, let's go. Someone serve me up a big old plate of poutine, maple syrup and a bag of Hawkins cheesies. Winters on a sled and summers on a jet ski. Everybody at the barn drinking Timmy's. Everybody at the barn drinking Timmy's. Everybody at the bar drinking Timmy's. The Albertans driving trucks and in BC smoking blunts, drinking Pilsner, watching riders out in Saskatchewan. Maritimes are catching fish, eating baguettes in Quebec. Torontonians are just trying to make their rent. Manitoba's pretty great if you like polar bears and lakes. Ride a moose to Nunavut if you're trying to get away. We're all different but the same, and that's something we embrace. I think that's pretty friggin' great, eh, bud? Here comes the 2 to the 3 feet of snow, playing hockey anywhere there's a rink or a road. It's a party up here in the great white north. Friggin' rights, let's go. Someone serve me up a big old plate of poutine, maple syrup and a bag of Hawkins cheesies. Winters on a sled and summers on a jet ski. Everybody at the barn drinking Timmy's. Everybody at the barn drinking Timmy's. Everybody at the barn drinking Timmy's, bud. Here comes the 2 to the 3 weeks of summer, before the snow's back and we gotta take cover. Winter's just over and here comes another. Friggin' rights, let's go. Someone serve me up a big old plate of poutine, maple syrup and a bag of Hawkins cheesies. Winters on a sled and summers on a jet ski. Everybody at the barn drinking Timmy's. Someone serve me up a big old plate of poutine, maple syrup and a bag of Hawkins cheesies. Winters on a sled and summers on a jet ski. Everybody at the barn drinking Timmy's. Everybody at the barn drinking Timmy's. Everybody at the